It's my hope and my prayer and faith that this rock will assist us in moving forward.
Behind these gray walls is no ordinary stone. It's Monto Asini, a sacred stone to the First Nations peoples living on the prairies. And on the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, the Alberta government gave it back to the Indigenous peoples who were robbed of it back in the 1800s. Out of respect to cultural practices, we can't show you the 145-kilogram iron meteorite currently housed at the Royal Alberta Museum. Photography is thought to drain those powers.
It was prophesied that the rock, if it was moved, that we would suffer. And, I think historically it's been recorded when the rock was moved, smallpox, took us down. Since then, a lot of things continued to keep us down.
Elder Leonard Bastine says just like how Indigenous peoples followed and moved with the buffaloes, the rock will enable us all to move forward in reconciliation.
Today, it'll give us direction and a new pathway into moving forward.
Friday, the government of Alberta and the Monto Asini Iniskim Sahani Center signed a joint ownership agreement with the goal of returning the Monto Asini to its original resting place. Minister of Culture says there are quite a few artifacts that belong to the First Nations peoples in the Royal Alberta Museum, but that those nations can speak to the government about reclaiming them.
The Athabasca Chippewa people were desiring to have their Treaty 8 medal back a while ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I was able to return it to them. So we're open to those conversations.
Indigenous attendees of the event say seeing the stone and witnessing the joint ownership was a meaningful and important experience for them.
It's a part of our past, so how the churches have certain symbols, this is one of our symbols from the Creator, letting us know that He's here and He's always going to be here with us.
Our elders have always stated, that we need to work as a collective, with regards to the upkeep of our language, our culture, and who we are. That's one of the key things that we've lost over time is our self-identity.
This is only one example, of things that were taken away. And now at least our future generation, our kids and kids of the future can understand what this is all about and what it means. It's coming back together and living in harmony.
Plans are underway to build a prayer center for Monto Asini to be housed and where First Nations people can connect with their sacred cultural traditions. And Albertans will get to raise funds for it too.
And I think about the many hundreds of millions of billions of dollars that were invested in the destruction of our culture. I think to preserve our culture deserves a few million.
They say the prayer center will take a few years to be built, so in the meantime, Monto Asini will remain at the museum. In Edmonton, Sarah Chu, City News.